Hey guys, good morning. It's Tiana with Storyhouse Books, and we are going to be filming a tutorial today. What are we making? We're going to be making a book cover with a latch closure. We're going to be using, let me get that out the latch cover, I'm sorry. I should have had that out already. It's going to be closed with one of these kind of deals here, right? Close just like that. We'll attach it with some brads. And we're going to go ahead and do the entire cover today, inside and out, as well as attaching the latch closure. All right, let's get started. So, what do I have in front of me? I've tried to prepare some pieces that's already done for my next book that I'm working on. So this is going to be 9x6. The pages themselves will be almost 9 and about 5 and probably 3/4 of an inch, maybe a little bit longer. I think I want to bring the pages as close to the edge as possible, maybe leaving just 1/8 of an inch, which is, you can see on the camera, about that much, like a little bit, all the way around. So just FYI, why it's 9x6. I think normally people do, I don't have a set measurement. It's kind of like what I feel like doing and how the paper turns out. So do whatever you want, you guys, whatever you want to do. Okay, so you should be able to, you should see, or you are looking at the chipboard pieces for the book cover. We're got some measurements onto here. So they're all 9 inches tall. This middle panel, this is the spine. It's going to be 3 inches. The front and the back cover will be 6 inches wide. And the pieces that come over like this that will close, these are each 9 tall, 9 inches tall, and 1.5 inches wide. As you notice, they are half as wide as the spine. Okay, so when they come together, right, you want it to match the spine. Okay, now I've already cut these out, obviously. I've also gone ahead and taken an emery board, a nail file, and just smoothed out the edges, especially the corners, because after you cut the chipboard, these corners can get kind of sharp, and I don't want them to pierce the paper, right, as we're folding it. So I've gone ahead and rounded all the corners as well. So what's the next step? Well, the first thing we're going to do is put the binding in. Now I'm going to show you 2 different materials that we're going to use today. One, for your benefit, to see that you can use, you don't have to use one or the other. Number 2, I'm out of Tyvek. I've only got 1 piece left. So we're going to use this for the main spine in the front, on the inside, and then the rest of it, I've already cut strips of muslin fabric that you can use as well. It works just as good. Like I said, I'm out of Tyvek, so I get to show you both methods. How to do this. So let's go ahead and get started with the Tyvek in the middle. All right, now when you're spacing it, if you don't already know, I space my pieces about 1/4 of an inch, give or take. I usually eyeball it. You don't want to go much more than that, okay? I'm also going to be using Fabri-Tac. Some people use Mod Podge or Liquid Matte. I don't like using it on chipboard because it sucks it up and it just gets really flimsy. Okay, then it starts to bow out a little bit. So I'm going to use Fabri-Tac for the attaching of the binding material. So let's go ahead and start with that. Now you're going to need a lot, just FYI. If I was better at editing, I would come back to this. So that's what we're doing. I may actually just pause in between the gluing so you don't have to watch me do this. Because what I am going to do, what I do want to show you, I am going to use a glue spreader on this to kind of even it out, just to make sure there's contact with all the surfaces. So if you don't know what a glue spreader is, it's this right here, a little tool. And I'm just going to drag the glue all the way to the edges. Doesn't matter if it goes off the sides, it's okay. Okay. But if you are going to use a glue spreader, make sure it does get to the edges at least. Okay. And you take your Tyvek and put it down. Very simple. Doesn't have to be exact size, but I do like to leave at least 1 inch or so on either side, just so when we're attaching the front and the back cover. So put that down. I do like to leave a little room on the top and the bottom because I probably will cut it exactly straight, or I may fold it over depending how I feel about it at that moment. Alright, grab your bone folder or your card or whatever you want to do to spread out your glue evenly. Okay, here we go. Looks pretty even to me. I want to make sure it gets to the edges, right? Yep. Clean that up a little bit so I don't want everything sticking to the table. All right. Now, we're going to place the other pieces here. I'm going to flip this over so you guys can see what I'm doing. So yeah, like I said, 1/4 of an inch, no more than that. Now what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to do it this way so I can actually see the spacing. And I will be right back with the next piece. Alright guys, so you see everything's attached here. If you will notice that I did push down the Tyvek in between the creases, you do want to do that. Give it some more flexibility as far as bending goes. Uh-oh. I about glued my cover to my craft table. Okay, so here we are, like this. Now we're going to do the other side as well. We'll do that with the muslin that I've already cut here. I'll show you how to do that. And we're going to attach the end pieces with muslin strips. Like I said, I'm out of Tyvek, so you can see both methods. There's not much difference, it's just different material. It is the same thing. And it'll be like this. So that's what we'll be looking at when we get back, because I'm not going to torture you, make you watch me glue things down. So we'll have this, 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 and this. And then this will be here. And then these two final strips will be on the other side of these flaps. Okay? Alright. Now with this one, I'm also going to be using Fabri-Tac, so I'm going to go back, I'm going to go do that, and then I'll be back. Alright guys, I'm back. I wanted to show you the last two pieces of muslin strip, so you guys can just see if you had any thoughts on what, if it's any different. It's not. So I've put down the muslin strips with the Fabri-Tac. I make sure to get it in the crease, just like we do with the Tyvek. Right here. Okay. Now I wouldn't use your bone folder because it's going to stretch out the fabric. Just use your hand to flatten it out to the edges here. Okay. Now we are going to be covering this up with craft paper, so it doesn't matter what it looks like underneath, so don't worry about that. Although mine is actually kind of neat for once. Usually I've got a mess everywhere. One thing I will say about the Fabri-Tac, you got to move fast because it will start to, depending on if you have the air conditioning in your house or a fan on or whatever, it will start to dry and it will start to set on its own if you don't get everything down. Okay, so let's go and flip this over and put the last two muslin strips on the other side here. So you kind of see what I'm doing here. So this is what's going to happen with the book cover. Okay, it'll open and close like this with a latch right there in the center, right there. Okay, so let's get these two strips on here. Okay, make sure the pieces are apart. Yeah. Okay, here we go. I'm moving as fast as I can, you guys, so I'm sorry that you're gonna have to watch this, but I just want you to see that there's no difference. It's just different material. Okay, try to glue spread out and get that down. Get our strip, and I like to put it down a little bit further than the edge and then pull it, because that way it kind of flattens itself out. Okay, down there. Make sure we slide this into the crease. Okay, I think we're good there. All right, just get this side done. See what I'm talking about? It'll start to do these little globs of glue. So be careful with that. All right, last strip. Okay, so we got all the binding down. Now, just going back and reaffirming these creases here. Okay, looks good. Everything is bending the way it should. There's no... Okay, we're good. So that's what the book's gonna look like, just like this. And then we'll close it shut right there. It'll look nice. As long as I don't overfill it, turn it into a chunky monkey, then we may have a problem. But, okay, so I'm gonna let that dry, and then we'll be right back. Alright guys, we're back. So I went ahead and cut off all the extra on the top. Again, it doesn't have to be perfectly straight because we're gonna be covering this with paper as part of the book cover. Okay? Starting to look like a book though, right? Okay, so next part, the colors that I've chosen for this book. So we're going to be covering the outside in panels. Each panel will be covered. So the first layer will be craft paper, okay, followed by this bronze pinstripe on the outside. On the inside cover will be this beautiful little gilded with the gold foil. Will be on the inside cover. Okay, it'll look really nice, very elegant, very classic looking look to it. Yeah. Okay, so let's go start with covering the whole piece with craft paper. Now remember, when you're covering your book, you want to make sure your folds this way, okay, that your paper is following that same grain, okay? What do I mean by that? Well, the grain, going with the grain, is if you take your paper to find the grain, when you fold it, okay, then turn it and fold it again, whichever way folds easiest, that's the grain. Okay, and you want the grain to run this way. So if you go this way, it bends, but if you go this way, look at that. It's much easier, less, a lot more flex there. So that's what you want when you're doing this, to help prevent tearing on these edges, which can happen if you force stuff, especially if you're going against the grain. You're going against the fibers, and it's going to make you want to tear, given too much pressure. So I know what you're going to say, well, that one piece won't cover both the whole thing. You're right. You're going to have to use two. What I'm going to do is join these, and the seam will run down this spine itself. It'll be fine because we're going to get plenty of grip here, or plenty of length here when you attach the flaps. So it'll be fine. So let's give it about that much. Let's see, it looks like about 2 inches. And that'll give us a little over 1 inch on each side to fold it, right? So let's do that first. Put our cover over there. Grab the Fabri-Tac and get on it. So we said about 2 inches, so I'm actually going to line this up with my craft table measurements. And get this glue on. And again, breaking up my glue spreader because I use it all the time when I'm using Fabri-Tac, and I find that it grips better and it dries faster and ensures a better contact with the whole surface of what you're trying to glue down. But again, you got to move fast if you're going to use this method, because it will start drying on you. Alright, here's the grain this way, now this way. Make sure I got it right here. Okay, let's line it up, make sure we get straight lines. Doesn't really matter because we are going to be cutting it, but just to be sure. Okay, straight line, straight line, straight line. Good. I think we're good. How much am I giving it? Yeah, that's plenty. Okay. I'll grab my bone folder and make sure contact with the adhesive and the paper. Just squeeze it. If it comes out the side a little bit, it's fine. Swipe it up. Okay. Flip it over, do the same to this side. Just kind of, I usually kind of rock it back and forth with my bone folder. And I don't know about you, but you can barely see that seam, which is good news. Okay, so that should be about dry actually. It dries pretty fast and usually glues better. We can go ahead and put our cover on. So let's see here. Now to reduce bulk, I always do a mitering in my corners. So I'm going to show you how I do it before we attach everything. And I think I'm going to cut off just a little bit up here. It's a little too long, so I'm going to cut off about 3/4 of an inch, let's say. No, maybe 1/2 inch, just to be sure. Now, if you want to use your paper trimmer, go right ahead. I'm not. Because it doesn't have to be perfect. Close, but it doesn't have to be perfect. Let's see if I got close. I'm running out of room on my table. Messy, messy. Okay, so here we are. Get this straight. I think that'll be good. That's fine. Okay. So again, we are going back down with the Fabri-Tac. I know it's a lot of glue, but gotta do it. Okay, so first thing we're gonna do, we're gonna pick a side to go down first. I think this is the smoother side, so I want this to be on the outside. I think, yeah. Okay. Whew, here we go. It's a lot of glue, y'all. Now here I'm probably not going to be using my glue spreader because that's just, I won't be able to make it. I won't have time to do that before it starts drying. It's already going to be a challenge this way. Okay, hope this is going to be good enough. Should be fine. I am using a lot of glue on this, y'all. I'm getting hand cramp. Okay, let's flip it over. Okay. All right. Let's get a good, nice edge at the top and bottom and the sides. Okay. I think we're good. Like that. Okay, we're going to flip this over and just start smoothing it down. With our hand first. Then we'll get our bone folder out and start making those creases. Those are important. So, find your creases. There's one right there, I believe. Yep. Okay. Yep. Find the next one. There. Is that it? No, it's there. Okay. Next one is there. Find the next one. There it is. You have to feel your way around to it. Don't press too hard because you don't want to pierce the paper. You don't want to tear it. You just want to guide it into these creases. Okay? Now, what I'll start to do is start pulling the paper towards it as well, and that does help. And pull from the outside, or push from the outside rather, as you're spreading the glue. And that does help bring the paper down into the crease by pulling from the outside some. Okay. Again, you want to be firm here, but you don't want, you just have to kind of feel your way through it. Do not pierce the paper. Okay. So, that's good, good. All right, now, let's see, all right, that is good, good deal. All right, we're good here. Now we're going to go ahead and finish the folding in here. I like to go ahead and go around with a scoring tool just to make the folds a lot easier before I actually do the folding. So I will just do this real quick. And again, be firm, but don't pierce your paper. Okay. Okay, we'll start down here at the bottom. We are going to miter. Let's do that first. So what you're going to do, if you don't have a tool, there's a tool out there that will actually measure this for you. But to miter, so you get the nice crisp edges, you're going to cut at an angle towards the corner, but not to the corner. You want to stop in front of that corner, just by like maybe 1/8 of an inch, if that much. You see, here's the cut, and there's the corner, right? You just turn your page or your cover. Do the same thing. You're gonna cut it at an angle, not dead straight, but maybe it's a little off a little bit, so it looks like this. Okay, great. I'll do the same thing this way. And cut it at an angle and stop right in front. I'm gonna leave a little bit of that paper at the corner. Turn it, another angle cut here. And you just keep doing that on all 4 corners. Here's the last corner. All right, here we go. All right, guys, I'm gonna be right back. I'm gonna go grab my cup of coffee. It's ready. All right, guys, and we're back again. So, go ahead and just help your folding out, and go ahead and just fold up your paper up to the edge after you've scored it. It will help you as you're going along. Have your bone folder at the ready here. All right, I'm gonna start here at the bottom. I'm gonna start with the long sides first. Now I put one line, one bead all the way up to the edge here. Okay, and that's where I'm going to start. Take my bone folder and I'll actually push it up against that edge. You want good contact with the edge of your paper, of your chipboard. Okay, and then I'll finish up here. Starting to get a little clogged. Okay. Uh-oh, I think Camera Kitty, he wants to go outside. He's gonna have to wait just a minute while we do this. Wait just a minute, buddy. I'll let you out in a minute. And again, you're gonna, if you have it, if you don't have it, it's fine. It's just a nice to have. My glue spreader here. Okay. And then start in the middle, is where I start. And then just start working your way out. Now, your bone folder can't help you here. Like I said, help you with that flat line at the bottom. Okay. Yeah, just keep working it with your fingers or with your bone folder, whatever you're using. And you can, even if you want to, grab some bulldog clips or diamond clips and clip it down to let it adhere. Well, so we're doing pretty good here. We don't need that. Okay, buddy, hang on. Now, again, you want to reinforce the creases. Okay, remember to pull inward from the outside as you're doing it. It helps. Okay, and again, don't push too hard. You don't want to crack the paper. All right. So, ooh, there went the glue spreader. All right, flip it around. You do the same thing on the other side. Now, if you guys like, I mean, you know, I do listen to viewers, and I know how much people hate while watching some of these, the long, you know, the boring parts, right? So feel free to speed me up however you'd like. That's one dirty boring folder. Ugh. I need to clean that. Okay. Again, making sure I get good contact with the edge here. I might using my whole bottle of glue on this. Hang on, buddy. I know you want to go play. glue spreader. Make sure you get to those edges. Okay. Okay. And we'll flip this up, starting in the center, pushing our way out. Okay. And we're going to go back and reinforce this edge here. Okay. Using your bone folder, line it up, and then start reinforcing your creases. Okay, so we're doing good here. We're making really good time. Everything seems to be coming together well. Okay. Careful with your paper. I know I'm going fast. I'm just used to doing this really quickly. If there's anything that you think you misunderstood or missed, feel free to stop and rewind. Okay. All right, we're looking good. Let's move this out of the way. Let's do the short sides. Now, this is a little bit tricky because we're going to have to work on these corners, right? What I'm looking for, I'll show you an example, are clean corners like this. It's got a little bit of glue on it and whatnot, but you see what I'm talking about, right? Okay? You want nice clean corners. You don't want all that bulk of folding it and not doing the mitering technique that we do, that I just showed you, okay? Now, it's a little tricky to get them like this. You're about to see it. So if you don't like having glue on your fingers, this is not the technique for you. Just go ahead. You're totally welcome to just fold it like you normally would. Just fold it over without mitering it. It's fine. Whatever is more comfortable for you. But you will get glue on your fingers with this. So just fair warning. Okay, so you're gonna need glue. Now you're gonna need a tool like your bone folder or something because we're gonna have to tuck in this little edge that you see here. We're gonna have to tuck that in as we're working the corner. Okay, so it's kind of tricky, but just stay with me. Okay, so we're going to put our glue in, like before, right up to the edge. Okay, make sure you get some glue in those corners where that extra tab is. Pull this up here. Now, you may want to zoom in for this, or I can do that for you. See if I can do this and do it right. Okay. Let me see if you guys can hopefully see what I'm doing now. Alright, so I'm going to be working this edge into here and trying to get it bent in like that. Okay, and when I do that, it will tighten up just like that. Okay, now I'm just putting glue on it, and then we're gonna do the whole thing. Get the edges really well. Okay. And make sure you got plenty of glue in there to help soften the paper as you're doing this technique. Now, the easiest way for you guys to see it, I guess, is like this. Like this. And then you fold it. Same thing over here. You're going to push it in with your nail or with a tool, whatever is easier for you. Push in this edge, you fold it down, and press this up at the same time. Like I said, it's tricky. It took a little bit of practice for me to get it right, but it will work, and you will like the result. And it does help decrease the bulk of your corners and give you a sharper corner. Now, it's not always going to be perfect because this one is not perfect, but it will work. That's how you do that. So here's one. This side's a lot better than the other side. So you see that, the nice sharp corner here? This was not as good, but it'll still work. If you flip it over, we still look good. This is the other reason that I round the corners, because I don't want the paper poking out in the corners or poking a hole as I'm trying to straighten this up. Now, I know there's glue all over the paper. We've got, if you have a adhesive eraser, this comes in really handy right here to clean that up after we put the inner lining in. Let's see, so we're good up there. I want to put a clip right there because we're having a little bit of pull away. I want to make sure that adheres right there. I think we have a little bit of pull away over here as well. So if you do notice some pull away, you guys, just grab some clamps and put it on there. Okay, I think we're good. All right, let's do this side. We're almost done, you guys, with the cover. Okay, let's go up to the edge, get that started. Okay, now, again, hope you guys can see this. You gotta come up here, and if you're gonna use your bone folder, I usually don't because it's a little bit more hard. It's a little harder for me to use this. I'm sorry. So I'm gonna use my thumb here. Just fold that piece in, right there. Push it down, and then do the same thing over here, and then you can do them both at the same time. I'm not left-handed, so this side is always a little bit more difficult for me. Okay, there we go. And then just use your bone folder to press it up, just like you did with the long sides. This side came out a little bit better. Okay. All right, you guys, and that is the base of our cover. Now, we still have to put the decorative edge on there. Okay, and we're just going to bend it just a little. Give it a little training. Not too much and not too fast. Okay. Now it's starting to come together, you guys. Alright, the corners look good. Alright, now we are going to not cover the inside right at the moment because we have some hardware to put on this thing. Everything looks good. Okay, good deal. I don't see any signs of tearing, so I think we're okay there. I think we're good. Okay. I don't want to press my luck and keep pushing it. Okay, the next piece we're going to do is we're going to put on the panels, and then we'll put on the latch, and then we'll probably, then we can probably put the inside cover on then. We may or may not get to that depending on how long this video is. But you guys, we can still do it. I may just have to take a little break, that's all. Okay. Now, we're going to do the outside panels because the latch goes over those. So let me go measure the panels and I'll be right back. Alright guys, I'm back. Okay, I've cut the panels. Here we go. They look like this. Roundabout. Okay. Before we put the spine on, so please feel free to fast forward through this next part. So I cut these a 1/4 inch shorter and less wide, so it gives myself a little border around each panel. I just like the way that looks. You don't have to. It is up to you how much border, if any, you want to give yours. Okay. Now, just gonna flip it over and use the creases as a guide. Make that straight, you guys. Okay, I'm just gonna use my hand. I have to be very careful with this paper getting glue on top of it because it will show, even though I have an adhesive eraser, this particular paper, for some reason, the sheen of the adhesive will still show and it will look a little messy, and I don't want that. So I have to be very careful when spreading this glue out. If you're wondering why I'm being so ginger with it. Because it doesn't mind, if it comes out the side, it's fine. I just have to make sure I pull it away from the paper. Make sure it's not on top. Okay, I think we're good there. All right, let's do this panel here. Sorry. I have glue all over my fingers. Again, I have to be very careful not to get the glue anywhere near that top part. What I'm doing right now is very dangerous for this paper. Okay. I'm not using the glue spreader for that very reason on this paper. Make sure my hands are dry. Okay. It's on there. Just trying to get it as even as possible. If it's not, it's okay. It's junk journal. It doesn't have to be perfect. You guys. Alright, let me zoom down. I just realized I zoomed really in really far. Sorry. Let me zoom back out here. Here we go. Ooh, we don't need the flash. Here we go. Sorry about that, y'all. Okay, so you see what I'm doing still? Okay, again, being very ginger with spreading the glue because there's a lot underneath here. I just realized how much glue I put in because it is just moving all over the place. Step there it went. See it? I get that off fast. And if it gets on there, I have to just do my best to get it off as fast as possible. There we go. And then I can use my adhesive eraser on it. First, I have to get this glue away from the paper. Okay. That corner might be a problem, but it just takes some work. And if I rub too hard with the eraser, it will rub the paper off. Start rubbing the paper off anyway. This is my glue towel. It's kind of dirty, covered with glue, but it is very helpful in a situation like this to get this glue off before it sets. Okay, we're good. All right, that looks a little crooked. Let's even that up. Here we go. That's better. Yeah, okay. Like I said, feel free to fast forward. I know this isn't the most exciting part, but this is the basically, you know, the spine, the bones of your book. It has to be done well, or you want it done well, and you want it strong. So we take our time. You try to take your time and make sure your cover is solid because it's going to be holding everything. It has to be strong. And you want it to look pretty. Unless you don't, unless it's your thing, whatever. Do what you want to do. Again, this is just showing you when I do my tutorials, I just show you how I do things. It doesn't mean this is the right way or the wrong way. People may not like the way I do things, and if you don't, that's fine too. You don't have to do it my way. My way is not necessarily the right way. It's just my way. And this is what works for me. Okay? Okay, let's make sure it's even top and bottom with the spine. It looks pretty straight. Okay. I'm gonna go with that. Okay, we're good. All right. I'm really leery about the corners, making sure you get good adhesion in the corners so you don't have any peel back. Now sometimes I put the peel back on purpose in the corners because I want it to look old and weathered, but not with this one. Okay, looking good. All right, one more panel to go and then we'll do the latch. Good spot for that, I think. Okay. Here we go. Okay. There's a lot of glue over there. Okay. I think we're good at keeping the glue away, and the rest of this I can get out with the adhesive eraser. Okay, looks good. I like it. I love pinstripes, so anything with pinstripes on it, it doesn't matter what it is, I love. Okay. Let's put our glue aside for just a moment and work on the latch. Now, to do the latch, you are going to need an additional tool, some sort of pokey tool. Now, we're going to use a crocodile. If you have one of these, great. Or if you have the Big Bite, which is a bigger version of this, great too. But some sort of pokey tool, because we will be poking holes in here to attach the latch. Okay, that look good, you guys. I love this look. Looks great. Okay, so let me grab the latch itself. My last one, so I have to be very careful with this one. Where's the other piece? Here it is. Here we go. Okay. All right, so how are we going to attach this? We're going to use brads. Oh, got it. Just caught it. We're going to use brads. Okay. So what we'll do is we're going to attach these here with brads, and then we'll cover up the brads with the inside cover piece. Okay. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to do this side first. And it'll be this piece here, so it'll go down. So, find a spot for it. Actually, let's mark our holes. Let's do this. I'm going to put these up on top where I'd like them to be. You know, it's fairly in the center, as much as you can get it, and make them even. And then a good thing to do is, just to make sure that they're going to meet after you actually close these, is to go ahead and latch this down like so, and then do your measurements. Okay. And it's a little fiddly, so just gonna have to be careful with it. I think that's about right. All right. Oh. Okay. Now, like I said, this part's a little fiddly, so we just kind of have to be patient if you're choosing this kind of closure. Now, if you're not doing this kind of closure, you're just doing a tie, well, this is, you don't need to watch this part, but this is not an easy piece. This is kind of difficult. Okay. I think we're good there, so I'm gonna did I get the dot on there? I did. So I'm gonna attach this piece first, and then we'll attach the second one. Let's do like so. Where was that dot? It was right there. Okay. Okay. This is hard for me to do when I'm using the camera, because I can't see over it, so I'm gonna have to do it this way. This normally doesn't give me this much trouble. It's because I have a camera on, that's why. Okay. That's what it's gonna look like. So I'm gonna go make my dots here. Okay. Actually, I'm gonna press down with my pokey tool, my score, so I can see the dots where they need to go. All right, so we're gonna use the smaller of the two punchers. Come right up to your impression that you made. I could see it. There it is. And punch your holes. I can't see it because the little thing's stuck in there. Okay. And the next one, you see the light. Where is it? Is that it? Can't tell. It's hard for me to see in the where it is. There it is. Okay, you have 2 holes there. Now let's go ahead and attach this one. We grab the brads that we're going to use. Okay, we are going to use Mr. Tim Holtz brads because they're flat on top and it allows the clasp to slide over it as much as it can. So we'll need 4 of those. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, so we'll take the locking mechanism piece first. Put that over here. And put your brads in. Just like you would use like a nail or a screw. Put them in. As you can. Okay, then you're going to hold this, flip it over, and then open them up. Now, I open them just a little bit to start with, just to get them on there. And then I start working them down. Sorry about all the glue on my fingers, y'all. That's gross. Okay. I'm going to press down, and I take the back of my bone folder and just push it in. Push them down as much as you can while you're pushing on the brad itself. Okay. Okay. Go. Back around. All right. I'm gonna get them as flat as you can because you don't want this to go anywhere. Okay. Now, that should be pretty secure. Let me keep pushing on it. Okay. Now, if you want to put a dab of glue on there, that's good too. You can do that as well. That's we're actually going to cover that with the cover. Okay, so now you got one piece down. Let's grab the other. Now the other is you want to make sure these are nice and flat so the latch will actually go over and slide over. See how it's kind of moving a little bit? You don't want that. So I'll go back in and make sure the brads are more secure here shortly. Okay. I'm going to turn this down. All right. And then we'll do the impressions here. Okay, did I get them where I can see them? Yeah, I got them enough. All right. Okay. Let's get one. Let's get the other one. Okay. Those holes. Get the light angle right so I can see. There's that darn hole. I think that's it. Yep. Okay. And we'll get the second one. All right, now that should, I smacked the camera, I'm sorry guys. All right, that should do it. Let's grab your brads and put on the other second piece. Where's the hole? Oh, here we go. Okay. There we go. All right. right, before I get those down really tight, I'm just make sure we're in the right spot here. Okay, and there you go. That's how that's going to look. Okay, now while this is a locking mechanism, you don't want to over jam these books when they have covers or closures like this, because you don't want it pulling on this latch. Okay, it will pop off. All right, if I can get that off, there we go. Now let's tighten these down as much as we can, and then we'll put a cover over it. So push the brad and do your best to make these as flat as you can. Okay, same with this side. All right, it's pretty sturdy. Let's go back over to this side and do this side again, because it seemed a little loose. All right. All right. All right, last piece, you guys, is the inside cover. Now, of course, it's not long enough to do the entire thing, so we are going to have to add a flap to it. So let me cut that, and we'll be right back for the last part. All right, you guys, we're back for the final part here. I basically just cut both of these to 9 7/8. I'm sorry, 8 7/8 inches. 8 7/8 of an inch tall, because I wanted to kind of notice. I wanted to come almost all the way up to the inside there. Okay, and then this one I left at 12 wide, because I wanted to cover the brads, of course, and come almost all the way to the edge. And this one I just cut 3 inches off. So it would come to the edge, and then it would actually, the seams would be in the spine, and then an inch in on the back cover. All right, so let's go ahead and glue this down, and then we will be done. All right, now I'm gonna go ahead and put some glue over these brads here. Uh-oh, I just pulled up on one of them, darn it. Okay, so just get to stay down. Get in there, y'all. Okay. Okay. I glue on my fingers for that. It's on my nail. Okay. And a little over here. Make sure you don't do anything over there. Okay. Now, let's go ahead and get glue on this big boy. Again, feel free to fast forward through the gluing stage. Okay. Oh, I got any glue right there? Oh, grab it and flip it. Bring it all the way up to that edge. Now this paper, I don't have the same problem I do with the other pinstripe paper about it getting on the top, so if it does get a little bit messy, it's okay. I expected as much for it to get messy. Okay, now position it wherever you want it. I just want to make sure I cover my brads here. Okay. And then I'm just going to start pressing down on there. Okay. Make sure I get it into the creases as well. Okay, this is very important because you don't want paper pulling. Okay. And kind of like that. Just gonna work in that paper. Okay. Keep working it. and get it in that crease. And push, and do the same thing in the next crease. Okay, I'm going to bring in from the other side, it's fine, because it's just 2 pieces, or it will be 2 pieces. And work it into that crease. Okay, like that. Alright. Ouch! That hurt. Oh my goodness. Sorry, I have a little cut on my thumb, so that really hurt. Okay. Alright, again, just keep pulling from there. Get it in that crease. Now, alright, let's grab the other second and last piece here. Now the tricky part to the inside cover is those creases, especially when you've got to double up like this on paper. Because then you got 2 layers you got to get into that crease, right? Now we could have done panels on this as well, but we didn't, so I kind of just wanted one fluid piece inside, and I don't know how that's going to look, because usually I do panels on the inside too. So this is kind of a test. Okay. Get all that glue on there. I know I'm almost like saucing it up, ain't I? It's like a kid with ketchup. Finger cramp. Alright. Flip it over. Make sure if it's directional, you got your paper going the same direction you want it to go as the other. Bring it up to where you want it to be. Now I'm bringing mine all the way to the edge. I want good coverage on those brads. And just start pushing it down and working that crease just like you do the other side. Now make sure it evens up on the edges here. And just start working your paper. Muscle it a little bit, I think. Okay, that's good. You're covering those edges. You're covering those brads. Okay, and then just start pulling your paper and work in your creases. And this will be a little bit more difficult because you've got 2 layers of paper here. But just keep working it and you will get it in there. Okay, just be patient. This part requires patience, and a lot of it. But, okay. Looks like we are a little off there, but that's okay. It's not the end of the world. Okay, making sure we're getting in there. Looks like we're good there. I think this crease is coming together. Just use your bone folder and just keep pressing. Keep training the paper. Do not rush this. It will work if you are patient. The paper will work for you if you're patient with it. I keep saying, if you're patient with it, it will work. Just like that, you guys have to train it. Okay, and I think we were patient enough. I may work on it a little bit more after you guys are gone. But there is your inside cover. I think it looks great. Let's make sure it closes. We're going to close this up. Push these guys down. Here. And then see if it locks. There we go, guys. There's the cover. We are done. I'm going to keep working on these corners, get it to lay a little bit more flat. But that's the book cover. That is the Latch double cover here. So I hope you guys learned something. I hope you guys liked the video and liked the technique and are going to try it yourselves. Now remember what I said about this here. You don't want to overstuff this baby because you don't want to put more pressure than needed on that latch. But if you want to just keep working, I'm going to keep working on the paper on the inside here and making sure it lays flat. So I'm gonna just take a bone folder all the way around it while after I let you guys go. But that's pretty much it. I want to thank you guys for joining this morning. It is Saturday morning in August. It is hot in Georgia already, but I'm glad you guys joined me today. Please, if you liked the video and liked or learned something, hit the like button. If you're new to our channel, please hit the subscribe button and then the bell to get notifications. Anytime we have new content, you'll get notified. And I hope to see you guys in our next video. It'll probably be decorating the book that I'm doing for here. It is going to be a journal based on just random pages. Basically, just a little more of a color theme, maybe a feel, but I'm not really sure where I'm going with it yet. So, but stay tuned, and I will see you guys soon. Oh, also, don't forget, we have our giveaways that we're planning if we do get more subscribers. At the 150 mark, we're going to be giving away a new stamp set, and then at the 200 mark, we're going to be giving away a book, or journal, or folio. So, if you would like to be entered in this giveaway, just leave a comment in the comments below, and I will make sure you get entered into both of them. All right, thank you guys so much. I'll talk to you guys again soon. God bless.